pot, marijuana, smoke, reefer, ganja, hash, cannabis. Now that I have your attention, maybe it's a good time to tell you this is Mercy TV, and welcome to it. Hello, my name is Perry, and along with Sonny, we'll be hosting this segment of MTV Live. If you have news and information you'd like to share with the community, give us a call at 503-588-6444. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. There's several bills in the Oregon State Legislature. There's a legalization bill, House Bill 3371. There's a dispensary bill that's in play, I believe 2919. And of course, our beloved bill to add PTSD to the OMMP, Senate Bill 281. So I hope that at some point here you get something to write with and something to write on to get all these numbers down, because we need you to contact your legislators and repeat these numbers to them. And with me here to talk about all the reasons why and more is Mercy's Patient Resource Coordinator, Sonny. Hey, Sonny.
Good evening, Perry. You know, all the things that Perry's talking about are so important. You guys, a while back, we had no idea that this thing about PTSD was going to work. Here we are. It's working. It's happening. They're looking at it. Things are passing. People with PTSD got some seriously good hope. And that's what I'm talking about, because everybody can go on and be busy with everything they got going. There's a lot of people got PTSD that are suffering, and at least know that, you know what, man, Oregon's taking a good stand on it. We're going to be able to get.
Well, it's great to see it introduced. It's been a tough fight every state where it's had the opportunity to, except for maybe New Mexico, although they're having a hard time holding on to it. And it's an excellent opportunity for folks, all those folks who are using it. You know, one of the things that was said about in the recent hearing for the PTSD bill was that expansion of the program. And folks, it was said by more than one person that there folks already are using it. It wouldn't be, there was no expansion of the program. We've constantly counseling with folks who use cannabis for their PTSD in the process of helping them get their card. And pain is pain from you suffered during the injury which causes the PTSD is frequently a qualifying condition, while it's the PTSD that they're really using the cannabis for. The pain is almost secondary to their PTSD. That's what helps them, prevents them from sleeping at night. That's what prevents them from having good relationships with people, holding, you know, going out just to have agoraphobia and stuff like that.
And see, people that don't deal with this or don't know about this have no idea what we're talking about, and that's okay. The main thing is this: there are people, you might know friends, you might have family, you might have their friends or family that they know of, because this is a widespread deal. And you know what? It's information, and the reason I'm making sure we talk about it is because the old lady that I talked to this week told me that this was the best information that she has heard in years. And the fact is that the cannabis works, and it is doing it with no side effects, and it works with all medications, you guys. There's no medication counteraction. You know what? It does nothing. It doesn't harm you. And it has no bad things that all these drug makers put in those pills to do things to our bodies. And this is natural. And most of the people that we're talking to about this, all they have is bad information about cannabis, and that cannabis is no good. The people in the hospital, there are people in the hospital tonight watching the show going, what is he talking about? Well, pain issues, all the pain issues, all the nausea issues, all the side effect issues that you're all dealing with. You could take cookies or take a puff on the vaporizer, which is no smoke, and have complete relief and know that, you know what, cannabis works. And all of these people would have so much less suffering and better quality of life. And all they need is this good information that is, cannabis is an alternative medicine, and it can work for you, and you have to give it a chance, and you have to talk to your doctors. So many people came in this week. There are a lot of good doctors out there. Just so you guys all know, A lot of doctors don't
Right.
do it, can't do it for all the reasons. This week has been an exceptional week in the amount of people that came in just needing the forms for their doctors to sign out. And that is the best thing that I can say. Relationships, talk to your doctor. A lot of people are scared, but yet here all these people come in this week and get their paper signed. So there's a lot of good relationships with good doctors out there, and you guys, that's what you can hope for.
Right.
You know, I mean, if your doctor won't sign, at least maybe they'll let you go to one of the clinics that the doctor will sign for you.
Well, they'll get out the forms, help them get the chart notes that the folks need to take to the specialist to sign for them. But I would like to echo Sonny's praise for the folks out there. In the medical community, we've had communication with nurses, folks dealing with nurses and doctors who are working with them to help them get their card, get their medicine, and to use it in conjunction with their other medications. And they're finding that they're having a lot less complications. They're taking one thing for a multitude of things instead of a multitude of things, often having side effects with each other, requiring more medications and stuff like that. And so folks are living a healthier lives and all as a consequence. So thank you, medical professionals. But again, some of them are with clinics. They're part contracts with facilities, and so are restricted by that and can't sign for folks. So they do send them to us where necessary, but we're having some more signing with it. Hopefully, I'd like to think that it's because folks are getting our packet that we use to educate doctors that they don't have to prescribe with the Oregon system, that doctors in Oregon are just signing the form that says they have this qualifying condition. Also, doctors concerned about smoke medication, having that method of applying it, and there's the vaporizing, there's making butters with it, there's teas, there's tinctures. A recent situation that we dealt with was someone that had used salves. We had got a bunch of salve that was made with, what was that creamy substance?
Well, it's coconut butter. And everybody says the different coconut butters and oils and all that, they can use it, some can't. You know, you can use grapeseed oil. There's a number of oils you can use as the extractor. The main thing is you use some oil, you extract some cannabis off of the plant, and then you use that oil on your body. For all the arthritis, all these things that everybody's got going on with their joints and their hips and their legs and their necks and their backs and muscle tissues and spasms, like this gentleman this week that came in with Parkinson's, who's using it on his hands and already immediately had relief. Just putting some on the backs of his hands had relief. And I just got to say, hey, if you know somebody with Parkinson's and they are going through this kind of spazzing and all that, wow, I just watched somebody do it. They put the oil and they just rubbed it on the back, and their hands started calming down from doing the steady.
Now, was this the oil or was this the butter, the coconut butter?
It was the oil.
Okay.
But I think there's coconut oil in it.
Well, you can certainly use that to make it with. This coconut butter one, there was a salve that could be kept at room temperature, so folks could dispense it that way. This is some of the things that we're talking about when the nursing community is helping the folks to use their medication and stuff, even so much as keeping that in storage. For folks that are in hospice care, you know, where they've got multiple patients there, they have to make sure nobody gets it, their hands on it, uses it unduly, that it's reserved for the patient, mostly because it's not easy to get and make. Although the process is simple, not a whole lot of excess cannabis around.
The one lady that came in said she was more than happy to take this one particular patient's medicine and oils and stuff and go over here to this other patient and help them, but she just needed to make sure that she was covered. And that's the whole thing. And yes, she could get signed on as the caregiver, and that's fine, and that's legal. But what we also know is that in the healthcare profession, taking care of this patient, that's a part of her job, she's covered.
Right. But transporting it, going into the Mercy Wednesday night meeting, for example, picking up some excess, taking it back to a patient, giving it to other patients, she would want to get her card, though. To
Absolutely.
be totally legal.
Well, because she's got a number of patients that she's helping, so she could be one for him and one for her and one for him. So she could really have all of those caregiver cards, but she doesn't need them. Just one is plenty.
Right.
And everybody, it's legal, and you're not doing nothing wrong, and you are following the law.
Right.
And so you shouldn't feel like you're doing something wrong. You know, that's
for folks to be in possession now. And we recommend that, you know, when folks has a family member, they have that other spot on their patient application for the caregiver. If they don't have someone who's doing this for them, who's going out getting the medicine, retrieving it, then as somebody who's going to be in the vicinity of it, though, a family member. And then there's also the grower spot, and a lot of folks don't know where to find a grower. They have trouble matching up to it, and it's not something that you can.
Excuse me, Perry,
yes.
we have a phone call?
Oh, okay, we have a caller. Yes, go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yes, I was wondering if I'm on a regimen of pills and I get my medical marijuana card, will that affect my pills?
You'll probably take a lot less.
I will.
Yeah, that's been our experience, folks, particularly if you're taking something for nausea, you're taking something to reduce the spasticity. Others are for your inability to sleep, things like that.
Right?
You know, then cannabis will help with that, and so you'll certainly reduce your pill usage for those symptoms, I should say.
Well, that would be good. Then all the side effects from my pills might go away after that then, too.
That's what we found. That's what, you know, folks that have come to us, they're in that vicious cycle. It's affecting them in their sleep, in their appetite, sometimes in, you know, it's like with the PTSD, it has there's just the reverse effect. People have issues with folks. Normally they're easily agitated, anxious, and so forth. So there's a lot of negative side effects that you don't get with the cannabis.
Well, alrighty. Thank you for the news.
Okay, well, good luck to you.
Yep.
Do the research. Yeah, that's what we encourage folks to do. We gathered it and stored a lot of it at mercycenters.org, and I encourage folks to go there, check it out. If you don't find what you're looking for, send us an email. We'll stock it up. If we don't have it, we'll tell you where to find it, certainly. Come in, get one of the newsletters here, the Oregon Cannabis Connection or the Mercy newsletter also. Good sources.
Well, there's a lot of information you can get, and the thing is this, like the lady that told me the other day, this is the best information that she's heard in years, and now she's excited because all these pills, all the side effects that she's been having, all the other issues that these pills have caused her, now knowing that she can use some cannabis and actually get some relief. And I told her a lot of people have healed their liver and their kidneys and all these particular organs that have been so damaged from the pills have literally healed and done better. You know, it's not like they're going to do worse. If your kidneys and stuff and everything's already doing bad, it can only help you. You know, and that's what's so exciting that nobody talks about. Well, you have to be the one with the bad liver or kidneys to be the one going, well, dude, if that'll help me.
Right. You know, that relates to what Sonny said previously about some medical professionals. Folks are talking about cannabis in the hospital. They're getting told, oh, no, that's bad. That's very, very bad. You don't want that. And the only thing bad about it is the possible threat from federal authorities. But as medicine, cannabis is safe, you know, as well as efficacious.
Well, the thing is this. If you can have a better quality of life without taking those pills and actually have some healing qualities going on in your body to the organs, because we all got different little things going on, and have that healing and working, doing better, or we could take the pills and have the side effects and have all the no sleeping, no eating. This is a cycle. Everybody I've been talking to lately has been on this sleeping thing. The man that came in, 16 years. 16 years since he had slept one whole night without being awake. Now this is a man who is a 30-year veteran and done everything in our country, in our world, for us. And you know what? Here he's telling me 16 years, no sleep, and he did it the other night. Wow.
Yeah.
How beautiful. You know what? These are the things that are happening that I see happening every day, every week at the Mercy Center. People are getting such good relief and making things happen. And you know what? I love it. These guys, they go get together and they go off and, well, because those guys are all veterans, so they all took off and went and did their thing.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah, we're networking the veterans together, particularly, you know, as we said, this campaign to add PTSD to the OMP. Not everybody who uses cannabis for their PTSD is fortunate enough to have pain or something else going on. Also, folks, if you suffer from nausea for medication for the PTSD, the nausea is a qualifying condition. Some folks have qualified under that circumstance. But it's only right that PTSD be added, that those folks who use it openly, honestly for it, that all the effects be studied and applied, you know, to folks, particularly, you know, where they're finding out in, say, Israel, where they're using cannabis not just for a wide range of ailments for their civilians, but in particular, they're using cannabis for PTSD for troops in the engaged in the war on terror, at least, and other soldiers certainly wherever they're stationed. But that's just one of the many instances where testimony offered for adding it and cannabis as medicine in general. And I think this is also evidence for, you know, we talked earlier, there's a bill to add not just PTSD, but legalization here in Oregon, House Bill 3371, in addition to a dispensary bill for 2919, House Bill 2919. Legalization would make it medical for everybody. The folks suffering from all kinds of symptoms and conditions that aren't officially covered by the program would have access to cannabis as medicine as well.
Well, and we've talked about this before, you guys. This is something that we should have already passed, and now we are back again looking at doing.
Excuse me, Sonny, we have another phone call.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello? All right.
You lose him, little buddy?
Hey, is this Perry?
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about you, buddy?
Okay. How's things?
Oh, I've recovered. It was great in D.C. Really good conference. I was there for all 4 days.
Okay. Well,
Monday was the largest lobbying day in medical marijuana history. We had over 200 Congress critters' offices in the same day.
excellent. Well, we should let viewers know that this is Jim Gregg, our local representative of Americans for Safe Access, their ASA, and they just had their conference in D.C. Jim here is going to give us some information on it, particularly on efforts that were made to lobby the Oregon representatives. Jim?
Yeah, the whole thing, actually, I just found out when I got back, is going to be available on DVD, so I've ordered one of mine. I missed the very end of what you were saying there, Perry.
Well, the effort to lobby representatives there in D.C. while you were there.
Yeah, the two bills were, the Truth in Trials Act was reintroduced, and our own Congressman Earl Blumenauer introduced the Patient Protection Act and had a press conference on Capitol Mall there on Monday morning before we all went out and visited our local congressman.
Excellent. It's a good thing for them to get visitors right there in D.C. there, the belly of the beast, so to speak.
Right. My congressman is Congressman DeFazio. I met with his chief of staff for about a half hour. I'll be doing a follow-up with them, but I didn't get to meet with any other congressmen. So who's the congressman in your district up there, Perry?
Ours is, I think, Bonamici. The Bonamici here up in the Tualatin area where I reside. Here in the Salem area, I think it's Merkley.
Well, the reason I'm asking is you should encourage your viewers and listeners there to call their local congressman. Both the bills, the Truth in Trials and the Patient Protection Act, are need sponsors to pass.
Excellent, that's right. So yeah, viewers out there, remember to call your federal representatives, contact them, and get them to support these two bills in U.S. Congress supporting medical cannabis community around the world. I mean here in the U.S., just for those states that have medical laws passed, I believe.
Well, and hey, Jim.
The talking points are available there at the Americans for Safe Access website.
Yeah.
And I believe they have a sign-on letter as well.
Excellent.
Hey, Jim, thank you so much for all you do, and really appreciate the call and getting out this information, because these are things that the listeners don't get a chance to hear.
Thank you. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, and thanks for
This
getting
PK?
Thanks for getting out there to D.C. and representing us. It's good for them to hear from patients like yourself face to face.
Well, it was the first annual. I think it was a lot more rewarding than going to a normal conference, for instance. We actually got to do something at the end of the conference to get us fired up for 3 days. Then on Monday we go get, right at Capitol Hill. So I think it's a lot more rewarding than some of the other conferences I've been to.
Right on. Well, we look forward to seeing you down here in Salem at the state capitol, and we'll do it to these local folks on the bills we've got in play here.
All right. Thanks much, Perry. Have yourself a good night.
All right, Jim. You take
All
care
right,
now.
Jim, thank you.
Bye. That's excellent. And wow, you know, we've got stuff at the federal level. We've got stuff at the state level. It's more important now than ever for folks to contact their representatives at all levels. I think it's good to contact your mayor and, you know, county officials too. These county sheriffs, the same sheriffs who were saying that they had to mess with the patients on their concealed gun handbits because of federal law. It's making me do it. Now that they've got some federal law they don't want, no way I'm going to, you know, do a federal law I don't want to.
Well, those are the things, you guys, that here at the Mercy Center on this TV show, we're trying to get everybody to be able to say, you know what, I'm getting some good information. Jim's information, you ain't going to see that nowhere.
Right. Well, be aware not just of the issues and the things that are happening, but what you can do about them. And you can contact your representatives now, and you can find out just who they are at mercycenters.org, or coming into the Mercy Center, we'll look the information up for you, give you the contact info.
Well, and sometimes people say, I don't know anything about the program, I don't know about the medicine, I don't know about the cooking, the growing, and it's all fine, you guys. There's enough people around that want to help others, and this is the thing. What do you need? How sick are you? What is your doctor? Everybody's got a different idea. They don't know.
Right,
you
and
know?
it's help getting your card. It's help finding medicine now. Every Wednesday night, there's excess medicine gathered, handed out there. It is help finding a grower or to get growing yourself in the long term. It is help with medication, recipes, methods, means, and resources for all these things. It's help with changes. It's help with improving the program, safeguarding, watchdogging, and even lobbying for the program, which is actually lobbying for yourself or your loved ones, you know, if not now, in the future when they're really going to need cannabis as the safe, effective, and cost-effective, too, medicine that it is. Something that was pointed out by some of the experts, Dr. Grinspoon one, not the least of which, that compared to all the pharmaceuticals, all the things and costs that go with them, cannabis, even after all the growing, even after the expensive grower, the fees, the doctor stuff, still more cost effective than these farmies.
Well, and did I mention the biggest thing of all of this, what we're doing, what we're talking about, you guys, is for patients, families, and quality of life. And there's a reason why it's that important that we do this TV show and people would allow us to do it, and people would do everything that it takes to make this happen, because you know what? There is really truth in the fact that cannabis does help. And it doesn't matter if you have to rub it on your body, if you have to eat it in any way you eat it, because just about every way you can eat something, you can put cannabis in it. And you know, those are things that nobody talks about. And all I can tell you is that cannabis is an alternative medicine. It can help you if you've had any eating, sleeping, nausea, pain, I mean, you know, there's so much to it that people keep telling me about right up to this week.
Right.
The main thing is this. The lady told me, I gave her information that she had no idea because all of her life it was a lie.
Right.
It was bad information that she got, and her life was based on that.
Right.
So here we are today saying, oh, well, now you got to believe this because this is the truth. It is the truth. That's all we're doing is saying, if you need some help medically, because a lot of people get tired of those pills and live in the side effects of those pills and going to the doctors and getting new pills because of the side effects of the other pills. And when you're doing that and you get a chance to try cannabis for your pain and nausea and all the things that go with that, and you say, wow, that really worked, then you're ready to start telling somebody, hey, can I get on TV because I want to talk.
Excellent. Yeah, we can use the testimony. Coming up for the PTSD bill, we may need the testimony again. Certainly we can share it with others, particularly in what works for those particular conditions and where to get the resources you need to apply it. More so to take action. You know, as we said, we've got the bill to add PTSD, and we're networking to veterans and others who suffer from it into groups of their own to further bond and communicate and build community. Networking, sharing resources to the VA. There's a lot of things to dealing with the VA, unfortunately. And so there's a lot of tips that they can share in how to, not just getting their records, to help them qualify.
All of it, you know. The thing is this, people have serious social issues, you guys. That's the bottom line. And everybody's going, well, you know what? Look at all these guys. They all got it. They all have it. They're all going through it. They're all having the same things. You know what? Come down and meet somebody.
Right,
and talk
guys
to
and
them.
gals, you know, and not just the people that served, but the people who suffered through it. Some cases, those who cared for them. ER folks, police, firefighters, folks who've gone through trauma, disasters, tragedies, accidents, it goes on. And as we heard in the testimony to get it added, folks were saying that the citizens of Oregon have said cannabis is medicine, it's safe, effective medicine, and they are getting tired of having to cherry pick on you know, those folks who suffer from this to that degree. Oh, you get to use cannabis as medicine. So that's the way it is right now. We're here to help with it, and we're also to help change it for the better. We encourage folks to join up and help us with that. And I want to say thanks to my cohort in Compassionate Common Sense, Sonny, for helping me out here. Sonny, thanks for coming out.
Well, right on, Perry. You know, this is what we got going. We got some really good people working on this TV show, all these volunteers and everybody, and CCTV and Perry and a lot of others. And you know what? That's what it takes to get this information out so a few people, our brothers and sisters, can have a quality of life.
Well, come on down, help out, call in. Most of all, spread the word. You know, a lot of folks could use this information we're dishing out.
Exactly.
Let them know about the Mercy Center. Come on down, Monday through Friday, noon to 6. Wednesday night meeting, 1745 Capitol Street, 7 to 9.
Thank you, Perry.
Thanks a lot. And again, special thanks to our crew. A lot of them working hard, struggling through all kinds of things just to be here. And we very much appreciate their help. It saves people's lives, so kudos.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.